Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a great, wonderful day. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So, today I want to talk a little bit about the world, about building a business, about myself, about what's going on, what I think. As you guys probably know, I was in finance before. I've started building startups and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy creating and building stuff and this is one of my passions, I would say, in a way, actually creating an impact in the world. And I think a lot of you out there don't understand why people go out and build things or startups or whatever it may be, and the reason is people do it because they have passion for it. They want to see something grow. They want to have an impact on people. That is the real reason why people are going out and actually building startups, or they love to see their work being used by customers, whether it be a SaaS product, AI product, whatever it is. People want to see their product used. And some of the big investors like Y Combinator, like Techstars, or whatever it may be, they're really good at spotting these kind of individuals at early stage, investing in them. They get a piece of the business, it grows into $1 billion business, and they exit their shares and they will become very rich. So this is how the world of kind of investing in early stage businesses and startups works. And it's a very, very interesting part of finance called venture capital from a finance point of view, but from a founder's point of view, it's also interesting because you get to talk to investors, you get to see what investors think of your product and whether you've got traction or not. And I've been through all of this, found it really, really interesting. I'm a VC scout at the moment. Before that, as I mentioned, I was in finance, working on a trading floor and actually as a broker, as a sales trader. So there are a few reasons I mentioned for taking the leap into entrepreneurship and actually starting to try to build a business from scratch. The world is pretty, I'd say, wild right now. There are quite a few things going on. Crypto has entered the space, kind of gone mainstream over the last 5 years. But the war in Iran that's taking place might affect your standard of living as costs beginning to rise. And a lot of you out there may think, hey, I may be interested in building a business, maybe not. Building a business is very, very difficult. And it's not something I would recommend lightly, especially if you don't have capital, right? Especially if you're starting out from scratch. Very, very difficult to build a business with nothing into a multi-million dollar business, but it is possible. It's possible. And you shouldn't feel like you have no chance. You should feel like you do have a chance. And you should take some kind of risk, I think, in life, because even starting a small shop, being a personal trainer, these are all things, businesses. These are all people that started businesses, real estate, self-employed real estate agent, whatever it may be. People, you're trying to build a business. And that's what you're trying to do from scratch. So you're taking the leap to go ahead and try and build something yourself. For some of you, it may work. For some of you, it may not work. But it's a great learning experience. You can go on to something else, whatever it may be. I always found that if you are trying to do something, you should really focus on it in the long term. So you should really go ahead and focus on that and keep things consistent to really get to a very, very high level. So, for example, Aiden Ross, these smaller influencers, Mr. Beast, these YouTubers, they focused on doing something and doing 120%, for example, streaming, and they just kept going and going and going and going and going. And then they got somewhere. And we also did a case study on Ali Abdaal. Ali Abdaal is a YouTuber who focuses on the productivity niche. So that's what made him win. He focused on, for example, how to study, tips on studying, etc. Those kind of things. And that's what made him win. So it's really important you find something you're passionate about, especially if you're trying to build a business. So something that you want to do, something that, whether it be, can be real estate, can be building, but you have to find that thing. and something, and it will be easier to be good at that thing if you really focus on that thing. I'd say, having been through lots of different things, from corporate to startups to a VC scale, lots of different things, met lots of different people. The other thing I think my advice is to take some risks. I think risks are good and healthy, and I missed investment opportunities in some very successful startups. And I'd say maybe at that point I wasn't ready to take those kind of risks. But when you're older, you understand the importance of doing that and taking those risks, and that will determine whether you will be successful or not. And it's never too late. So, you can do it in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, etc. But the most important thing is to scout around, have a good network, have a family to support you, a companion, and take some risks, because life is short. If you're good in the corporate world, then that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with being a great career in trading, investment banking, lawyer, whatever it may be. You can be really good at that job, and you can grow into a very successful person. You don't have to particularly start your own business. However, some of us are a bit more entrepreneurial and like to work for ourselves. Let's put it that way. So you may want to do something like that. But as I mentioned, prices may go up, and you may want to start something yourself, as you will look for extra sources of income. Now, there are a few things you could do. You could start a Uber Eats, delivery, whatever in Europe. Postmates, you could deliver things. You could lawn the grass outside. I mean, there are quite a few small jobs you can do. Content creation, social media has given the opportunity to become an influencer as well, content creator, and earn money and a living through that as well. So there are quite a few things and ways to earn money. However, none of them, especially in the first 6 months at least, will bring you the stability that a job and an income has. And some people like that. That's okay. Having that stability, having that income is very, very good, and makes things easier for a lot of people. And that's true. Because even Casey, the YouTuber, Mr. Beast, who did so much to get their YouTube channel, if you noticed, KSI or whatever, they put in so many hours to get to a million subscribers. And it's something you have to know, that dedication to get to 1 million subscribers is going to be absolutely humongous and huge. And you have to put in the work. So just take that into account if you're thinking, I'm going to be a millionaire soon, because you're probably not, and it's very difficult, and you probably have a lot of obstacles in the way. But if you do, for example, become a big content creator, you can cross-sell drinks. You've probably seen Celsius, Jake Paul's Celsius in the gym when you're working out, or Prime Energy drinks with Logan Paul, because he's able to sell that because he's got a certain amount of views and subscribers, and all he's doing is selling those subscribers things and products, and he's making money from it. So once you have that influence, the Stan Store founder did that too. Simple idea, right? Stan Store, little link you click to sell courses on your Instagram profile, whatever. And he's made a multi-million-dollar business, but at the same time he's created a YouTube channel. He's pushing that YouTube channel to sell himself and then cross-sell his product. He just got Gary Vee on board as well. So I hope this kind of gives you a good, broad overview of starting a business, thinking about starting something, my experience, my career, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't, my thoughts at least. And it's important to take a step back, take a macro view of things, keep your network healthy and engaged in what you're doing as well, because you never know they can come up with some great ideas to help you move forward and move fast. And it's great to know it'll take you about 6 months to see if an idea is working or not as well. You should keep that in mind. About 6 months. If the idea is not working 3 to 6 months, it's really for the poubelle, for the bin, and you should move on to the next one. So good start as well. Influencer started from scratch and then came to a certain point where he's doing big brand deals with Loro Piana. So yeah, hope this helps. Let me know what you guys are building. I'm interested. Thanks.